If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Students, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is not what is poured into a student that counts, but what is planted. Teachers have 3 loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first 2 loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible? All right, thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this one-week national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and essential AI tools for teachers. This is organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC of St. Thomas College, Palai, in association with the Kerala State Higher Education Council, the KSHEC. We would like to welcome today Dr. Suresh Nambudiri, who is the Director of SPO Technologies, Pune, and he will be the resource person for today. And we would also like to welcome all the FTP participants of today. Now, about this FTP, This is a 1-week FTP program with live sessions from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And today is our second last day of the FTP. Now the fee for LMS access and processing your certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recording for all the days, and the provision to download your FTP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FTP. If any of you are yet to make the payment, please make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details I will shortly put in the chat. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. We have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till today noon. Remaining paid participants will receive the LMS access details mails by tomorrow. If you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, you could join the YouTube live session with the link I will put in the chat now. Okay, you can join with that link to YouTube if you have any issues with the WebEx. Now coming to today's session will be, the topic will be on underlying threats of OBE, ChatGPT and AI tools. This will be delivered by Dr. Suresh Nambudiri, who is the Director of SPR Technologies, Pune. Now, Dr. Suresh Nambudiri is a product design specialist in automobiles, consumer electronics, home appliances, computers, and telecommunication, with over 30 years of industry experience. When he resigned from the corporate world to contribute to the Indian education sector, he was Chief Operating Officer with Tata Motors. He was part of the team that developed the first Indian car, Indica. He has designed and developed over 200 products, including washing machines, refrigerator, desktop and laptop computers, smartphones, and accessories, many of them for the first time in India. He has traveled over 22 countries and closely worked with engineers from 8 countries. He is a highly sought after professional interviewer for senior positions in engineering and management for Indian embassies operating in India. The insights he gathered from interviewing over 12,000 candidates made him investigate and research the state of Indian education, particularly in engineering education. The findings eventually led him to associate with a global team of 158 industry professionals and 2 Ivy League universities for a pan-Indian ethnographic survey for unearthing root causes and finding sustainable solutions. Currently, Dr. Suresh Nambudiri is working as a Director of SPR Technologies, Pune. He has served as a resource person for faculty development programs in the topic of outcome-based education, critical and creative thinking, ChatGPT and AI tools for educators, design thinking, etc. He is currently collaborating with the HEIs like IITs and NITs and other premium institutions for improving the employability of students. He is a mentor, researcher, and educator in addition to a senior corporate consultant. He is a BTech Mechanical, MTech Production Engineering, and MBA New Product Development. His PhD research subject is cognitive rigor requirement for startup and entrepreneurship. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sajjan, and good evening and happy New Year to all. Today and tomorrow, we are going to cover 3 topics. That first, as Sajjan was speaking, the first topic we are going to discuss is underlying threats of OBE. Means we need to understand why OBE and why OBE is crucial for our country and each one of us. Second point, today what we are going to discuss is the pedagogical excellence. We know that as William Spady, he is the father of OBE, he said, unless we improve the quality, there is no meaning of measuring. What is the attainment calculation unless we really try to improve our quality? So that is what in the second part today, we are going to discuss about pedagogical excellence and how AI can be a major part in that. And tomorrow, I am going to speak about the next point, means the third point, about OBE that we are going to speak about research. How we can use generative AI for high impact research. That is, we need to think specifically. You go to YouTube, you go to Google, you will see that everyone speaking about AI for research means there are certain tools that is only for literature review and for summarization and for data analysis, etc., etc. But that is only about 3 to 4% of AI's capability. If we are really interested, we can use AI's capability as a turnkey solution for our entire research. That is for, I am speaking about PhD and I am speaking about paper publication. So these are the 3 points we are going to discuss today and tomorrow. I will repeat. First, it is underlying threats of OBE. Second, how to use AI for pedagogical excellence so that we can improve our teaching learning process. And third, we are going to speak about the research using AI. So, so now this is the foundation is set. Now let me start sharing my screen without much introduction, or if anything is necessary, I will tell at that point. The reason is we do not have much time, so we need to rush. This type of a screen is given deliberately. The reason is it should be there in our mind with such a background music. Because in my personal opinion, I think outcome-based education might be a last chance for our societies and our country's survival. People may ask why. OBE is not another fad. There are many things came and gone, but OBE we cannot. We cannot take OBE in that way. Each one of us has a responsibility on this, and what it is, why it is. I am going to speak exactly why it is necessary. Let me go ahead. This is a newspaper. 2 weeks ago, I kept on the floor and I took a photograph. What is so special about this? If you see that there are phones, there are laptops, there are air conditioners, there are TV monitors, there are airports, there are tabs, there are refrigerators. All these things are with a foreign brand name. Even if it is with an Indian brand name, it is made abroad and branded abroad, and even Indian companies' name is printed abroad and brought it to India and sold. Now, here the key point is nobody is even speaking about this. People are speaking that this is actually available here. I purchased this, but nobody is speaking that why it is not made here. Okay, let us say that some other country may be cheaper for manufacturing. In that case, why it is not designed here? For example, Apple iPhone, even though it is manufactured in China, it is designed there. It is designed in US. There are many European products. They are made in China, but it is designed in those European countries. But in our case, it is not designed in India. Even those companies, they put their brand. Those things are designed and manufactured in China. Why such a thing is happening only to us? The type of people we claim that we are the real IT professionals. We are the real most intellectual people on earth. Why such a thing happening to us? So this is what the point I wanted to speak here from the OBE point of view. Now see here, this is another screenshot I have taken few days ago. It is from NDTV. They are speaking about all the products they got introduced. There is not even one thing Indian. And why? Why it is not Indian? Now let us go ahead. This is another thing. Last week I took a screenshot from Reddit. On Reddit, there is the subreddit called India Tech. India Tech, what are they speaking? They are giving 3 OS, operating systems of phone, and they are asking which one is better, Apple iOS 17 versus Samsung One UI 6 versus Xiaomi Hyper OS Control Center. Who did it better? Where is an Indian name in this? This is what we need to understand. In India, for the last 20 years, in more than 2,500 institutions, there is a degree called MCA. In IIT Bombay, right from 1979, there is a computer science degree. In IIT Kanpur, right from 1965, in 1965, they had one of the best IBM computers. Even then, why we have not designed one mouse or one keyboard, why we have not developed at least one app of world repute, at least why we have not developed one operating system, whether it is for PC, whether it is for mobile phone, why we have not done that? Even in the last year, why we introduced one operating system, why it is 99.9% copy, why we are not getting a good startup, or why all our startups are copy from some other place, why are we not getting any ideas? These are all the things answer when we think about the importance of OBE and what is the underlying thread of that. Now, many people will ask why it is necessary. Why it is necessary if it is manufactured, if it is assembled in India, what is the problem? Let me speak about that later. Now I will show you. There are many people thinking that they do not even understand the difference between assembling and a full manufacturing of a phone. So let us go here. Before that, I call your attention to a Wikipedia page. It is called a list of inventors. On that page, this is a page, a screenshot I am showing you here. On this page, there are about 1,300 entries, country-wise. And it is all list of inventors. Any patriotic Indian like ours, our blood should boil. The reason is in that there are totally only 5 Indians in this list out of 1,300. And out of this 5, it is starting from Shushruta, who invented surgery. And after 1947, there is only one entry. That is in 1989, one gentleman from Haryana, he invented a Braille typewriter. So apart from that, there is no invention from India. So now let me tell you why inventions are required and why should we be pioneer. If we are to become leader of something, we have to, at least in some areas, we should be pioneer. If we are not, nobody will respect us. Even Sri Lanka won't respect us, Bangladesh won't respect us, even Maldives won't respect us. The reason is, where are we pioneers? We have to be good in that. Let me tell you an example. Now, iPhone is getting assembled here in India. None of the parts are actually designed in India. But some of the subcontractors came here, they are supplying parts using the jig stand picture and all from outside. Now, please understand one thing. In Economist, there's an international magazine called Economist. Economist Intelligent Unit has given a breakup of who is getting how much of an iPhone. They have clearly written, out of $500 iPhone, the person who is assembling is getting $6. Person who is assembling is getting only $6. That means if one iPhone assembled here in India, that company assembling is only getting $6 out of $500, and only to give employment to our youth, our government is forced to give all incentives to these companies to bring and start manufacturing here. So these are all the things we lose because we do not have the ability. I am an ex-Tata employee. I would like to tell you that Tata has got the ability to design an iPhone, but now they have become the assembler of an iPhone. So this is a difference. This we have to see from the point of outcome-based education and how higher skilling, improving of the quality, then measuring the attainment, why that is important. Let me go ahead with this. See, when we are seeing this, when we are seeing a ship, we see only the surface of the ship. Similarly, when we are seeing any phone or a car, we are only seeing the superficial, that assembled thing of that. I will tell you, there are lakhs of other operations are behind it, beneath it. Let me tell you another example. I made a calculation of making a dosa. How many operations are involved in that? How many decision points are involved? How much water is to be poured? How much, at what thickness it should be ground, or what should be the density of this? There are about 46 decision points are there for making a dosa. Now, as a product development person, I will tell you, for making a cell phone, there are about 6 to 6.0 lakh decision points are there. We develop skills when we enter into decision points and understanding the consequences. So when we are not designing and when we are taking only for manufacturing, this is the opportunity we lose, our youth lose, and we don't get any opportunity to understand what are the things involved in this. Therefore, what happened? We become a country of mobile phone consumers and mobile phone repairers and mobile phone sellers. That's all. We are not learning anything from mobile phone. If you see the companies like Asus or Acer or like any other Chinese company like Huawei, OnePlus, Vivo, Oppo, you will see that they all were assemblers once upon a time. Then they become modular suppliers. Then they become their own designers and branding. So that type of a growth we are not seeing here in India. In India now, iPhone, it is the 5th model which is running, which is getting assembled. But we have not developed even one phone here on our own of that standard. This is what we need to see, that why we are not able to do, and what is to be done for improving that particular situation. See, this is what. See, these are the type of the work involved. This is what the combination of something about 6.5 lakh operation. For 6.5 lakh operations, we miss. So now let us see how to put this into Bloom's taxonomy. How to put this into Bloom's taxonomy. In India, normally many people are getting an impression that Bloom's taxonomy is a knowledge level for setting question paper. But all over the world, it is not for setting question paper. Bloom's taxonomy is a level of attainment. That is the level of attainment. If you have read the newspaper today, you would have read that combinedly TCS and Infosys, last year they fired 36,000 people. 36,000 people are not a small number. 36,000 families are totally in the dark from only these two companies. They do not know what to do. So how this is happening in Bloom's, which level those people are, and why they are, and why such a thing happen. Now I am going to show you one particular data. This has been collected from across India, because such a survey is not there. You won't see such details on YouTube or internet. I am going to show you here. Across India, 94% of students, means just passed out graduate students, they are confused graduates. They are in the Bloom's remember level. Confused graduates in the sense they do not have any interest in any of the subjects. They do not have any interest in any of the subject they studied. For example, a BTech mechanical engineering person, he is studying about 54 papers over 4 years, but after completing, he or she doesn't have interest, not even in one. And if we ask which is the most interest subject they have, they tell something like operational research or something, which is nowhere related to mechanical engineering, because the teacher was good. This is 94%. Now let us come to the second level, that is Bloom's comprehension level. They are average graduates. Why they are called average graduates? In the sense they are useful for some extent, because if they can understand certain things and they will have their own little insight about that, so they will do some work. 3.7%. I will tell you, Infosys, TCS, Cognizant, etc. They select people from this level, this 3.7%. Now next is Bloom's Apply. They are 1.5% of the total population, 1.5%. And they are the best engineers anyone can get here in India, because they can understand a concept and they can apply in another place. That is coming to Bloom's Apply level. And now think about higher order thinking. That is analyze, evaluate, and create. These three structures you have to understand. There are only 0.8% of our passed out students. That means if we are seeing 200 people, we may find 2 people like this. They have got that creativity from the domain in which they learn. See, there are certain colleges I came across. They think that the first year people can be in the Bloom's Remember, second year in the comprehension. It is not like that. If you go and search on internet, there is a very good quotation by Maria Montessori. You know this Montessori schools. Maria Montessori says that even children are very creative. Even children can ask a question. Even they can ask a really piercing question. Anybody who is asking a piercing question, that person is in analyze and evaluation level. So even small children, 3-year, 4-year children, they too can reach up to the Bloom's taxonomy's create level. Therefore, it is not based on the year. It is based on the cognitive level. Cognitive level according to their age. How it has to change, it has to improve. That is the reason in foreign countries, Bloom's taxonomy is considered as a level of attainment. That means education means for that particular subject, students growing from bottom to the top, Actually, the purpose of education, you take Swami Vivekananda, you take any other quotation, you will see that it is taking students through Bloom's taxonomy is the ultimately objective of our education system. Therefore, if we had to really score good in OBE, and now it is not a choice, it's a must. So we need to take our students through Bloom's taxonomy. because no country can afford to become a superpower by 2047 and on if our remember level students are 47%. At the same time, I wanted to tell you that it is not that in every country, developed countries like US, Canada, Japan, or Germany, don't think that there everyone is creative. It is not like that. Only the percentage differs. I will tell you an example. Before that, let me speak about a concept called gifted people. Gifted people are the people, they know something without even learning that. A girl who is dancing without learning dancing or singing without learning singing. These are all gifted people. There are gifted people in coding. There are gifted people in mathematics. There are gifted people in driving. There are gifted people in swimming. But according to Wikipedia, they say like that 1.5 percentage of demography is gifted people. Means they are all very good in something. So in our case, if we see like that, even we are chasing away gifted people. Means our education system is even chasing away gifted people. We are not able to take the advantage of that. At the same time, what is happening? I was speaking to a professor there in USA. He was telling that how it is happening in US. This 1.5% they protect, like a LIC symbol, they protect, and then they put some 3% people around them. So this 1.5 plus 3, they'll become almost something around 4%. So this 4% in various stages they grow and they bring to some 8%. So instead of 0.8%, in countries like US, Japan and all, it is about 8 to 9%. Means a country requires at least 8 to 9% of people genuinely higher order thinking, means evaluation creation level. And this Bloom's, remember, it cannot be more than 40%. 40% of people, it is okay, because even they themselves, they don't want to be creative people. They don't want to, because they have got various other things to do. They are very much happy with that. So in this way, it is very important for OBE to raise the students from the bottom to the top level. Now let me tell you a little more about this. What is the effect of this type of Bloom's taxonomy percentage on our graduate attribute? I am sure that you all would have seen graduate attributes list. NBA has got, AICT has got, UGC has got. They all have they have graduate attributes. Why graduate attribute? Let us forget all the definition, description, problems exactly. But when a person passes a graduation, that person is expected to have certain attributes. They are called graduate attributes. If those people are not getting those graduate attributes, they cheated themselves or the system cheated them. That is the reason they do not have the graduate attributes. Whether in most places, these graduate attributes appear as a program outcomes, POs. So when we are saying like that, I will show you how this is actually affecting our ability to build graduate attributes here. See, this is according to NBA, that is for the AICT's graduate attributes. This attribute and corresponding Bloom's learning objective. If you see the definition of that graduate attribute, and if you see what is a corresponding Bloom's learning objective, you will see like that engineering knowledge. I am speaking about AICT, UGC. I will come later. Engineering knowledge is apply 1.5%. Means percentage of students. Now only 1.5% of the total engineering students are actually gaining the graduate attribute of engineering knowledge. Problem analysis, that is coming to evaluate, it is 0.8%. Design development of solution, it is create, it is 0.8%. When we see like that, we will see this can be correlated with the data. If you see World Bank and OECD data, you please see our India's export and import. We are importing maximum engineering finished goods. If we are all good engineers, why we are importing engineering finished goods? If we are all very good, why we are importing all software products from there? If we are very good, then very good, why are we exporting raw materials? If you go to Mangalore, you will see there were Kudramukh, there were some 2-3 big beautiful hills. Now they are all flat. All those high rich, this iron ore went to China at 40 paisa per kg. When it is coming back, it will come as 2,000 to 3,000 rupees per kg in the form of parts. Why such a thing happening is the thing shown here. Because we do not have that creative thing to design anything of our own. We are looking abroad. So that is not enough. This is not matching with our country's vision. And at the same time, when the country is bringing the companies to India by thinking that we will repeat the thing of China or Taiwan, why it is not happening here? This is what our ability to absorb or ability to absorb a technology and apply in another place is itself is not there, because that is Bloom's taxonomy apply level. So let us go next and see. This is what happening with the rest of the NBA graduate attributes. And now I am coming to UGCs. Disciplinary knowledge 1.5%. So the key point is, as patriotic citizen of this country, we need to do something, because what is available to us, we should be able to build maximum. Now let me come to another important point. You know that there are many universities, they claim we are following the foreign university syllabus. Now there are many foreign universities are coming here. They are bringing their brand and bringing their syllabus. Now let us see why foreign university syllabi don't produce the same result in India. It's an interesting thing. You know that Dr. Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy was introduced in 1956. That committee was formed somewhere in 1953, 54. They took 2 years for developing this taxonomy, that committee. And in 2001 to 2005, that 2-3 people they left of that committee, they were still alive. They modified Bloom's taxonomy. But the way in which it is explained and taught here, it is incomplete. You will hear, normally people say like that, the modified Bloom's taxonomy is knowledge changed to remember. And synthesis become create, it become top, and evaluation becomes second. This is a change, but it is not. There was a very big thinking change happen. There happened is, main thing is that in 1956, they have written the lowest thing is knowledge. Knowledge we cannot put like this, because knowledge has got a level, there are levels. It is called depth of knowledge. It is called depth of knowledge. Means the knowledge which is in the surface, knowledge which is deep. These two are very different. This was ignored in 1956 by Dr. Benjamin Bloom, the Bloom's committee. That is the reason in 2001, actually 2001, what is written here, this is the way it is explained here, but this is the true. It is designed, it is split into 4. I will show you that point. See, this is what the real Bloom's taxonomy. Once you understand this, you will see how Bloom's taxonomy is really a level of attainment, and this will help you to understand OBE better. See, on the on this on vertical axis, you will see Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, comprehend, apply, analysis, evaluate, create. But on the x-axis, here you will see 4 levels. It is not one, remember. There are 4 types of knowledge. That is factual knowledge, conceptual knowledge, procedural knowledge, metacognitive knowledge. There are 4 levels of knowledge. So it is very important to know about this. For example, remember factual. It is recite or list. Remember or conceptual, it is recognizing. Remember procedural, it is recalling. Remember metacognitive, identifying. Similarly, comprehend factual, it is summarizing. Comprehend conceptual, classify. Comprehend procedural, demonstrate. These are all level of attainment. For example, a person who has comprehended a procedure will be able to demonstrate. A person who has comprehended conceptual comprehension will be able to classify. Comprehend metacognitive, understand. This is a very, very important. Please, when we are seeing we understand something, it is comprehend metacognitive. What is metacognitive? Metacognitive is about our thinking about thinking. Thinking about our own thinking. Means we have got understanding about ourselves. When we have got understanding of about ourselves, then comprehend. That is what the understanding is. Apply factual is employ. Employ means it is directly applied. So that is why employment, that is what the difference between career and employment. A person who is in higher intellectual, that person is career building. But when you are directly put somebody on job or on a factual, it is actually called employment. Apply conceptual, it is providing. Apply procedural, it is carrying out. Important, you see, apply metacognitive, use. Please understand the meaning of use. So identify, understand, use. These are all coming with Bloom's taxonomy's metacognitive level. These are all the levels different. Analyze factual, deconstruct, analyze conceptual, investigate, analyze procedural, discover. Please understand this. Analyze, procedural, discover. Discover and invent, these two are different. Why? Discover means something was already there. Invent means we are finding something which was not there. So analyze procedural, which is discover. Analyze metacognitive, separate. Evaluate factual, critique. Evaluate conceptual, modify. Evaluate procedural, judge. Evaluate metacognitive, decide. Now we are coming to the create factual, produce. Creating factual, it is produce. Create conceptual, generate. Now please understand where ChatGPT stands on Bloom's taxonomy. ChatGPT stands on Bloom's taxonomy here. It is generative AI. Appropriate original ideas, plans, opinion, prototyping represent your thoughts and interiors. That is create conceptual. Now create procedural is design. Create metacognitive is create. So that is what metacognitive, in the sense it is coming from our nervous system, that creation. So creation is happening there. So when we are speaking about our abilities, we need to understand this particular point. How this is going to apply, I am going to tell you now. See, this one, I could not make it bigger so that this letter, but I request each one of you, please go back to Google and search for cognitive rigor matrix. It is Webb's normal Webb's depth of knowledge level. And now, if you go to most of the foreign countries, they are only speaking about depth of knowledge level. Means in the apply, what is the depth of knowledge? Create, what is the depth of knowledge? So in this depth of knowledge, there are 4 levels that is equivalent to the previous one. It is a recall, reproduction, skill, concept, strategic thinking, reasoning, extended thinking. Now I am coming to the main point here. Main point in the sense, there is no meaning of complaining. There is no meaning of there is no meaning of sitting and speaking about what we do not have. We need to think what to do. As I was telling you earlier, raising the students through the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. That is what the key thing of OBE. So how to do that? So when we see the cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy, we will see that solution is here itself. We need not go and look for solution. Now let us see what to do to raise students from Bloom's remember to Bloom's comprehension. What they require is language for comprehension or literacy for insight. Language for comprehension in the sense, I will tell you an example. See, I being a mechanical engineer, I will take examples from mechanical engineering. See, there is a subject called theory of machine. You go and search on internet, there will be 10 to 15 lakh pages are there on theory of machine on internet. But when we make a syllabus, when we make a book, we will come to some 300-page book of theory of machine. And some local publishers, they make a guidebook. When they make the guidebook, that 350-page book will become some 60-page book. It is a guidebook. But we have gone to backside of the examination halls on the day. Theory of machines examinations are there. Most students are carrying some 8 to 10-page note. That is the theory of machines for them. Now, after having this, that too, these 8-page notes are not written by them. It is coming through generations from seniors. So they read this 6-page, they go there, and unfortunately many of them pass the examination, and they come out and tell that the theory of machines is a subject which is very boring. They tell neighbors, they tell cousins that don't join mechanical engineering. So why this is happening? We have done the root cause analysis of this. The reason is the reading ability, or it is a concept, or it is the language for comprehension. In some, you may get surprised. In some of the major NITs and IITs, if you give a standard textbook to someone to read, reading speed is 1.5 page to 2 pages per hour. Now, I am speaking about standard global textbooks from any field. This is what we need to attend, that is language for comprehension. If we can understand the root of many of the terminology, we will learn even technologies fast. For example, take the computer terminologies. Most of the computer terminologies have a root in literature. If we can understand that literature root, we understand the concept of that syntax, concept of that language very fast. So here the first thing is language for comprehension. Second is, if we have to raise students from comprehension to apply level, the most important thing is we should have second, what we need is critical and creative thinking. See, critical and creative thinking is there in 21st century skills. Critical and creative thinking, it is there in graduate attributes. Critical and creative thinking it is there in new education policy, but where it is taught? Take the entire system where it is taught, where it is practiced. So critical and creative thinking is the important thing anyone to reach third level of Bloom's taxonomy, that is K3. Now let us see from there how students can go up or why they are not going up. You will see the reason here. What is required is idea exposure and world view. Even if I know Pythagoras theorem, my application of Pythagoras theorem is limited to the exposure I have about the world. Unless I know situations where I can apply this, I am not going to find an application. That is the reason in India, 2000 colleges are giving last 20 years MCA degree, but we are not developing any application only because of one reason, that we are not giving idea exposure and world view to our students. They do not even know what they can do with a certain thing. Even if I have a chisel with me, I do not know which are the places I can use a chisel. The chisel will always remain with me. That's all. So this is what the point. Idea exposure and worldview. We make a hackathon, but are we solving problems? It is a secret. But main point we need to see here is, if we have to find a solution, we need critical and creative thinking. We need idea exposure and worldview. This idea exposure and worldview is the key thing, another thing of creativity. I will tell you an example. See, Apple computer Steve Jobs, he is considered the most creative CEO the world has ever seen. This is what. Now, what is the definition of creativity of this most creative person? Steve Jobs gave creativity's definition like this. It is nothing but rearranging what we already know. Means a person rearranging what he or she already knows. That is what creativity. If we take the inference or corollary out of that, a person who has more knowledge will be more creative because that person can rearrange many things. A person who doesn't have any exposure will only remain with very few things to rearrange. So he will be less creative. So therefore, idea exposure and worldview. Now, let us combine these things and see that. See, when we are putting this into this cognitive rigor matrix, let us see. This is one, language for comprehension. This is what second, critical and creative thinking. Third, idea exposure and worldview. These are the ways in which a student or a college can improve students through Bloom's taxonomy. Means when we are explaining things, when we are taking class, if we have got an understanding this, it is going to help OBE. Now let me tell you one very, very good example. Every one of you must be knowing an examination called IELTS. IELTS. If you ask anyone about IELTS examination, they will tell it's an English examination because it is conducted by maybe British Council and IDP. But IELTS is not an English examination. That is a secret of US and European universities, Australian universities. It is a secret of their success. Why it is secret of their success? Those universities survive because they are seeing IELTS banned while taking students. Why? Because people who are getting higher bands on IELTS, they are on higher brands of Bloom's taxonomy. Shall I tell you why? IELTS has got 4 examinations. One is that read, listen, write, speak. When you when you write a reading examination, it is not like that. They write, they give a reading material that a capital of India is New Delhi. Then the question is, which is the capital of India? It is not like that. One has to infer. One has to use one's own knowledge. One has to read between the lines, then see the question and the answer. It is not seeing an answer and in a text and they are not writing here. In the same way, when you are going for IELTS listening, same situation. When you are going for IELTS writing, spontaneously you have to develop content. You tell me in which level of Bloom's taxonomy it is. It is going to be case 6, creative level. On the spot, they have to write content. But in the case of writing, you will get little time. Now you think about speaking. In the case of IELTS speaking, we have to spontaneously create content and present. This spontaneous content creation, this is the topmost cognitive skill a person can have. If you see cognitive, all 3 domains of Bloom's taxonomy, that is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, you take the topmost skills of all, that is create, characterization, non-discursive communication. You take all 3, you will see that speaking is the only skill combining to the topmost of all 3 Bloom's taxonomy. Speaking is the skill. And now we need to understand in ancient Indian educational system, why it was oral centric. Why it was oral centric? Because in ancient Indian educational system, it was oral tradition, because oral speaking is the skill where Bloom's taxonomy's all 3 top levels join. And that is what the difference between human beings and animals. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, the difference between Homo sapiens, that is us, and animals are 2 things. One is abstract reasoning and second is articulated speaking. So the educational system which is combined quality, it is coming to these 2 things, abstract reasoning and articulated speaking. So this was the core of ancient Indian education system. It was not religion, it was not chanting of sloga, it was not Gurukul. It is actually these 2 things. We were trying to make our population more human. That was the thing of education. Now let us go and see this. You are seeing the photograph of a young man here because he died young. There are no old photographs available. He is Lev Vygotsky. He is the creator of social cognitive constructivism. Social cognitive constructivism is the learning theory. It is used across the world. You take from Mexico, Brazil to North Korea and Japan, they use social cognitive constructivism. But I will tell you one secret thing. This social cognitive constructivism is not applied in higher education in India. In school, it is. I was teaching one of my nieces some few years ago. For 12th standard examination in Maharashtra, I found that they are following social cognitive constructivism, but not in higher education. Because social constructivism says that in a class of 60 students, if a teacher takes class, 60 students are going to construct their own ideas about that subject in his or her own way. So once we understand this, it has different wide applications. And whatever 3 points what I said, it is coming from social cognitive constructivism. That is, to take students from remembering to comprehension, we need literacy for insights or language for comprehension. Second, for taking students to the to the Bloom's apply level, we need critical and creative thinking. From to take students to the higher order thinking, we need idea exposure and world view. This is what Lev Vygotsky's principle. And unfortunate thing about our Indian system is that without learning any learning theory, we can go there and teach by thinking that teachers will learn. That is the reason we are speaking about this thing now. It is very important for bringing OBE. Now, I have spoken to you why OBE is required for our country. I even told that this will be one of the last chances for us to survey. That is the reason it is very important. And second, I told you that in Bloom's taxonomy, where our students stand, and then third level, I told you what we have to do to take students from the lower level to the higher level. So that is what. And without these three fundamental attributes, no student can reach any of the graduate attributes. So this is what the key thing. A person who is getting after completing BTech or after completing MSc, they should be able to demonstrate these things. This can happen only if we follow outcome-based education thoroughly, sincerely, and religiously. So now exactly 1 hour we have taken, and with a few more minutes I will finish this. Let us go to the next session. So I will speak about my own experience. As Sijin was introducing in the beginning, I am one of the directors of our company, Esper Technologies Pune. We have developed tools for taking students from remember to comprehension, comprehension to apply, apply to higher order thinking. We have developed various tools for that, for higher education and technical education. All are combined with the AI. Making use of artificial intelligence, we can take students from the lower order thinking to higher order thinking. This is a very big opportunity. If you do not use it now, people are actually running faster than ours. When we are seeing, see, there is no problem. There is no problem if we do not crave for an iPhone. If there is no problem if we are not speaking very high about a OnePlus phone's camera. If we are happy with whatever we have, then there is no problem. Otherwise, we are all going to suffer unless we design and manufacture, develop such a thing here. Many people tell that China has got a manufacturing facility. I am not speaking about manufacturing alone. I am speaking about the cognitive rigor and ability in all walks of life. Now you just think about one particular computer language called Python. Go to Wikipedia and search who developed Python, how much infrastructure he had, how much funding he had. Nothing. Now think about a language called Hadoop. Go there and see who developed it. One housewife in the kitchen table, she developed Hadoop. Hadoop is the name of an elephant. Her son used to make a drawing and give an elephant. That elephant's name is Hadoop. So it is not that we do not have funding. It is only running away from responsibility. I read a study, that's an international thing. In that they say like that, genuinely only 4% of the research, we actually need higher funding. Otherwise, the rest of the thing, we need funding here in our brains. So that means we have to use. For that, this is the thing we have to go up through the Bloom's taxonomy. Now I am concluding my first part here. Now I am going to the next. I am going to the next section. So before going there, if anyone has got any doubt or suggestion about this, please let us speak about that.
If any of you have any questions to Suresh Nambudiri sir, please put it in the chat and we'll take it. Nobody has posted anything, sir.
But nobody has placed. Okay. Okay, there is a question from Karishma Vincent, madam. Sir, could you please display the graph image which are the verbs for the K levels? Karishma madam, what I will do is that I am writing my phone number. You please send your WhatsApp number. I will take a screenshot and send to you. And this number is for all. Anyone has got any clarification, they can call me or send a message. Have you received the number? Now I am going to the second section today. Are you able to see my screen? 100 plus smart ways to use ChatGPT for an exciting classroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is a special program. When we are speaking about ChatGPT for education, when we are speaking about the application of generative AI for education, we are restricting ourselves to very, very few things. Very few things in the sense we only make some objective type question or multiple choice question, or we make a PPT, or we make some notes. But there are many other ways in which we can make use of ChatGPT. This detail of this are already there in LMS. It will be available for you through LMS. And I have only 1 hour to speak about this. So you know that I cannot explain all 100 numbers when we are speaking about in 1 hour time. But there are two opportunities here. Point number one, I am going to explain to you various ways how we can use. Second, it is there on LMS. And additionally, you have my phone number with me. If you have got any clarification, please feel free to contact so that whatever I know, I will be always happy to share with you. Okay, so now I am going to speak about 100 plus smart ways to use ChatGPT for an exciting classroom. So this is the first time I am speaking to you regarding ChatGPT. So let me tell a few things about this because it will help today's rest of the session. It will help tomorrow what I am going to speak about research. I am seeing in society and in academic community, there are people, they have got apprehension about ChatGPT. They have got various doubts about this and they are not ready to understand the potential of this. So let me tell you some valuable information. First information is that I too was like that. You know, you can see my color of my hair. Okay, because I am 60 plus. And the same time, I was from my own experience, there was a time I used to think that artificial intelligence is fake. It is because I am one of the first person to start using computer-aided design and manufacturing, assembly line design for washing machine, refrigerator, and I was one of the first to start doing robotics here in India for the automation purpose. This is for a long time back in the early 90s. So during this automation and in robotics, everyone used to come uh, everyone used to come and tell me that this is artificial intelligence, this is artificial intelligence. That first I used to believe that, but later I realized there's nothing called artificial intelligence because all these things are coded at some level. All these things are run by program. And it is something like a Excel is writing 1, 2, 3, 4 up to whichever level. Amazon.in is showing us that these are the products you may like. These are all not artificial intelligence. These are all programmed. So this is the by 2000, 2500, I was very much clear. People talk about AI, it is only for their satisfaction. There is nothing called AI. It is actually programmed somewhere. But there is one more thing which added to my knowledge. This happened in somewhere in 2013-14. See, at that time there was a situation called automated essay grading. Means you write an essay, you write your examination, and it can be fed to a machine, and a software will read it, and then it will give you a score. So that is what one very big concept and innovation at that time, automated essay grading. So with my understanding of artificial intelligence, I developed a thinking that it is actually something fake. That time I was there in uh, I happened to be there in New York in Columbia University, and I could attend a conference there. In that conference, I met a person. He was artificial intelligence lab in charge of Harvard University. He also was a participant there, a discussion about auto grading software. He told me very specifically that if a software is intelligent, it should be able to differentiate between various shades of emotion. It should be able to differentiate between sarcasm and a joke. It should be able to do sensitivity analysis. Then we can say that that software will be able to do an essay or an analysis of a question paper written. Otherwise, it cannot. He told me very clearly, all these software only counting the number of words and places of the words, and they are programmed to give some score. When I heard this thing from a Harvard University lab in charge, I decided that, yeah, that is true. And I continued with my belief till 2022, till 2023 February. In 2023 February, I was reading Time magazine. I am a subscriber to Time magazine. I was reading, I noticed one article in that person was speaking about how he made use of ChatGPT to change his diary to like a report in Time magazine. He wrote a prompt to change the style of his own personal diary to the Time magazine. My God, that was a moment I felt some 440 volts electricity was passing through my spine. I recollected what that Harvard person told me, that if a software can do the sensitivity analysis, then it is artificial, then that is intelligent. I realized that if a diary should be transformed to a Time magazine type of type of an article, it requires that intelligence. That moment I realized that a different world has come. That moment I realized that the future, that I realized that the future is not going to be same. So from that moment, I started reading a lot about artificial generative AI. I read a lot about ChatGPT. I started working on that. We are one of the first companies in India to buy ChatGPT's API and start developing products here in India. As I was telling you that we have got an AI product for taking students through the Bloom's taxonomy from lower level to higher level because we developed with that. And we have developed a special research methodology program through generative artificial intelligence that I am going to show you tomorrow. That is called Vijnana. And this is a way, and I have written 5 books on artificial intelligence. It is there on Amazon.in. We have developed many new methods of prompting technology, prompt engineering. Those things actually in the research methodology and in the AI longer program, we teach those prompt engineering. So when we are speaking about this, I request each one of you, believe in generative AI. Please spend some time for this. It is going to bring you up. It is going to launch you to a higher orbit. So the situation is not going to be same. Therefore, let us think about this. I want, actually, more than me speaking a lot about this, I really want some 15 minutes to put this on question answer. I will be able to answer any sort of question. I believe so. I will be able to answer those questions of yours because answering those questions are very important. So I want to tell you in the beginning itself, if you use ChatGPT appropriately, no plagiarism. And ChatGPT is not there to speed up our work. It is for expanding our horizon. ChatGPT is going to work as our exo brain. It is expanding our brain. It is taking us to the places we would not have even thought that they are existing. Such a big ability we have now. So we cannot close our eyes. for our sake, for our students' sake, for our family's sake, for our country's sake, it is important that we need to make a full use of it. So now I am going to speak to you about 100 ways in which this is developed by us, and we teach this. Actually, this 100 plus smart ways to use ChatGPT for an exciting classroom, I take in one day. Now I have got only about 40 minutes for that. But I hope one day I will be able to explain this thing to each one of you. But now let us go ahead from here. See, what we are saying is that all around the world, the WhatsApp and Instagram used to be the ChatGPT and no, the WhatsApp and Instagram, it used to be. So I am seeing some of the comments here. Let me answer. I thought I will answer those things later. Hassan sir has given a chat by saying that many times ChatGPT gives hallucination. Please understand certain things. ChatGPT is like a 1-year-old boy or a girl. It's a child, but it's a promising child. What should we do? Should we should we see some disadvantage there and block that child, or let us decide to grow with that child? We need to grow with that child because it has already proven its potential. And like any new technology, there will be something we need to take a discretionary decision there. For example, someone told me that if the automobile was first invented here in India, we would have smashed it. We would not have encouraged at all. The reason is that as a country, our ability to accept anything new is very near to zero. Unless it is shown and proven some other place, if a new invention coming here, or if it's a native grown, we less accept to that. So when there is a ChatGPT, what are all the mistakes what we do here? I will tell you. Point number one, people say, this is what I got from ChatGPT. This is what I got from ChatGPT. Many people show me a result. I want to tell them, if possible, I want to give a slap to them. I want to tell them that there are millions of ways you can get a response from ChatGPT based on the prompt given by you, based on the version of ChatGPT used by you. ChatGPT 4 is the only one that we can use for research. ChatGPT 3.5, in my opinion, it is kept only for the purpose of advertisement, or it can be used for travel agency or those type of some commercial purpose. But if someone has to do some serious research, or if you have to get something good reasoning, we have to go for ChatGPT 4, and we have to use the right prompting. There are various. Our company, we developed some 28 different types of prompting, different types, so that you get the real essence, which is not available with the rest of the people. ChatGPT 4 is 700 times more powerful than ChatGPT 3.5 in reasoning. In my opinion, with about 1 year experience with ChatGPT, now it is January. I started working in last February. So it is 11 months experience with ChatGPT with 3.5 and 4, and with the APIs. I will tell you, ChatGPT 4 is 700 times powerful. I am looking at ChatGPT main for the reasoning power. It is working on GIGO, GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage in, there is no meaning of complaining ChatGPT for getting garbage out of that. But Even now with 4, ChatGPT says like that, it can make mistake. Like our Windows operating system can make mistake, Google can make mistake, ChatGPT also can make mistake, and it has limitation. What are all the main limitations of ChatGPT? ChatGPT point number 1 limitation is that it can answer only from the data trained on them. And what are the type of data trained on ChatGPT? Which are all the things? There are 3 types of data which we need to understand. One, it is trained on the data in public domain. Point number 2, we need to understand that ChatGPT doesn't have access to the data which is closed, behind a firewall or a paywall. Firewall in the sense, our Gmail, our WhatsApp, those things ChatGPT doesn't know because it is behind a firewall. Similarly, if there is something behind a paywall, ChatGPT doesn't have access. For example, now I will tell you PubMed or any of the Elsevier or any of the big paper publishing companies, they are all paid and ChatGPT doesn't have an access there. So we cannot expect anything to come from there. But at the same time, ChatGPT has got access to their abstract. So from ChatGPT, if we prompt properly, we will come to know about the existence of such a paper. So you can use your own university or institutional library. You can get access to that. Third, there is another thing. ChatGPT doesn't have access, which is a legal firewall. Legal firewall in the sense you would have seen day before yesterday there was a newspaper report. New York Times is suing ChatGPT's company OpenAI and Microsoft because their crawlers went through the New York Times web pages and took data for training. So this is a legal thing. So these are the restriction. We need to understand everything has got restriction. Our library has got a restriction or a limitation, or even the papers we can dig out about one particular subject has got a limitation. But the potential what we are getting, what we are seeing through the ChatGPT, these things are very different. Let me go through this one by one. I thought by seeing Rashid sir's the chat, I thought that it is important to tell these details in the beginning. Now, all over the world, teachers were complaining about Instagram and WhatsApp because our students want continuous excitement. Instagram and WhatsApp every second, every 2 seconds is giving excitement. But when they come to the class, that excitement ends. So with the ChatGPT, teachers can give similar excitement in the classroom. That is what we are going to show here.
What is artificial intelligence or AI?
See, there are 2 AIs or 2 popular AIs. That is generic AI or the traditional AI. And the second one is generative AI. That is what ChatGPT, Bard, Gemini, etc. So what is the main difference between these two? I will tell you in a layman's way. See, generic AI or traditional AI, as I was telling you earlier, it is programmed. It is like a parrot. Means it knows what it is to be done, so that that it will continue to do that particular work. If you have seen earlier, there was an IBM Deep Blue chess playing computer. This chess playing computer, it used to get stuck in situations where it was not programmed. But if the same thing, if it was developed through machine learning or through this generative AI, it will never get stuck, because it has got its complete knowledge from the entire trained data. So the core of generative AI, I will tell you here, please never forget this. The core of generative AI is always think about what is the best possible next. That is the reason when you are doing a Google search, you get all the answers in one stroke. But when we are seeing in ChatGPT, we will see that it is getting generated in front of us. It is getting generated, it is not as a style. It is actually getting generated in front of us. How it is getting generated? It is always thinking that what is the most probable next. So it is based on the prompt given. It is always seeing what is the most probable next and continue to generate. So this is what happening with the generative AI. So if you are seeing about how artificial is artificial intelligence, in the case of generic AI, it is as intelligent as it is programmed. In the case of generative AI, it is as intelligent as its program and its trained data. Both have restrictions, and it is our job, because it is our work, it is our world, so that we need to really exploit what is best in that. And see, I use ChatGPT to the maximum, but I know that when I am publishing something in my name, it is my responsibility. I cannot say like that ChatGPT gave this. So therefore, whatever I develop, whatever I think, I cross check with various things, and I make sure that the output going from me with my name is actually meeting the standards. It is the same way. There are many institutions in India. They call me for giving training on research methodology through artificial intelligence. Whenever I go there, I tell research scholars this important thing. See, ChatGPT we need to use ChatGPT. Like when we are building a house, we see house from the outside, but inside it is all bricks. So we need to use ChatGPT in brick level. We should not use ChatGPT in house level. So that is why there was one more chat question here. We should use ChatGPT in brick level, because we get such a good information, and ultimately cementing together or stitching together and making that complete research, it is our job. Don't delegate that particular thing to ChatGPT. Then there is no issue of plagiarism itself. So I am going further here, that what is artificial intelligence? How intelligent is artificial intelligence? I explained. This point also I explained how artificial is artificial intelligence.
Types of prompt.
See, this is an important point we need to, I hope I will be able to explain prompting and prompting engineering some other time, but there are very good information. We have put it on LMS. You can get it. This is a magic prompt formula, that is context, task, instruction, example, and data. Because when we follow prompt formula, prompting technique, the type of the response we get from from ChatGPT or BARD is very different. I am surprised to see that many people, they use ChatGPT exactly like Google. We need to understand Google is giving search results, ChatGPT is giving us answer. ChatGPT is giving us solution. ChatGPT has got the thinking power. Unless we make use of that one, there is no difference between Google and ChatGPT itself. So therefore, uh, we need to understand this differentiation and understand the techniques of prompting and start make use of ChatGPT. I will briefly explain what are all the ways we can use ChatGPT for a classroom. See, this is a create a course description. You can give the name of the course and what is the requirement, Bloom's taxonomy level. ChatGPT can develop a course description itself. In this, ChatGPT can be used for creating learning goals or course outcomes. That is COs you can develop with the various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. I will show you a prompt here. See, act as an experienced academician. Write learning outcomes for you can write a course subject here, course at the remembering level of Bloom's taxonomy. You can tell ChatGPT that I have this particular portion to cover. You please give me certain classroom activities. ChatGPT will give you the classroom activities, very interesting for your students. When we start a new subject, we know that we know that well begun is half done. If our first class is good, things are going fine, then we will get a different type of experience. So developing a list of icebreaker question, or you can develop stories for any new class or for any subject. All these details are there in there on LMS. You can read it in detail. I am only introducing these things to you. See, this is an important thing. We had a survey conducted across India. One of the main complaints students and parents have about teachers is teachers are not giving sufficient real life examples. So ChatGPT can be used to get any sort of examples for any boring subject. We can find interesting examples of the boring subject and we can make that particular lesson interesting. One of the important benefits of generative AI is to create personalized items. So if you can classify your students based on various things, you can give one note to ChatGPT and you can tell ChatGPT to develop the notes for according to each group's interest. For example, if there are certain students or a group of students in your class, they love cricket and you want to teach them thermal engineering or you want to teach them business economics. You write the note of business economics and ChatGPT will make it interesting for the cricket lovers. ChatGPT will make interesting for the athletic lovers or people who are interested in politics. It will actually change it and give. This is the power of ChatGPT. So this one, how much we can use, but this can be used. You give your topic, that day's topic to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, in this, what should be the note given to the student? What should be the thing I should be speaking in the class? And what are the things I should be writing on the board? ChatGPT will give all three things to you. For example, if you can tell ChatGPT, means I have given my today's portion and I can tell ChatGPT, tell me what are the things I should be speaking to students. What are the things while speaking that what should be written on the board? And in the end of the class, what should be the notes I will be giving to the ChatGPT will make it coordinated way. It will be given to you. You give anything, ChatGPT will create rubrics for that. It's very interesting thing. See, generating PPT is one of the most misused activity of ChatGPT. So I have seen many teachers suffer because of that, because most of the PPT, you will see that about 25,000 AI tools are there on the internet, and majority of them are actually for PPT making. This PPT, please do not go for those cheap PPT tools, because a PPT is your face in the classroom. That is going to be seen by students, and what are the things written there? You are responsible for that. So I always tell teachers that whatever you want to get it is in slide. You please write it on ChatGPT. You tell ChatGPT to develop it. Then copy it and paste it on the normal PPT slides. Don't use any of the PPT tools which is available free. If you can ask ChatGPT that what should be the image for this particular slide, ChatGPT will give the suggestions for image. ChatGPT will give everything. So use only ChatGPT, copy it and place it on the normal traditional PPT slides. See, this is ChatGPT can be used, as I was telling you earlier, personalized study plans and support for students. These are all the three various ways in which we can categorize students. One is work model, second is multiple intelligence, third is MBTI. ChatGPT can develop the same notes for each group of these. I am going little fast because I can show you some of the important thing. See, create an outline for any topic. Even you can upload a PDF and ask ChatGPT to create an outline of this and give. ChatGPT will give. This is another important thing of ChatGPT. tell ChatGPT any task and give ChatGPT any task and tell ChatGPT to write proper instruction and give. ChatGPT will write step by step instruction. See, this was the example I was telling you in the beginning, auto grading of essays. We can feed essays to ChatGPT and we can tell ChatGPT to grade it. If you want to grade properly, even you can give a standing instruction. This type of things is this grade, this type of thing will constitute this grade. See, this generating dummy data is a very important use of ChatGPT, especially for statistics teachers, computer teachers, etc. There we need a data set. This is anything data set you tell ChatGPT, it will create it and give. See, here I have given one. Create a table of 12 rows of dummy data with the following column: date and name, address, city, state, and zip code. Use fake names and addresses for the data. All names should be from the Indian state of Gujarat. So we will get this like this. See, many people think that ChatGPT is only a one-sided thing. Means we ask a question or we send a message, ChatGPT gives a response. It is not like that. ChatGPT can be used in very interactive ways. That is what here one thing called arranging Socratic questioning sessions. I will show you another example later. Just a minute. Regarding the interactivity of ChatGPT, I will show you an example. To show you the ChatGPT's power of interactivity, let me show you one very good example. I am going to do a salt analysis. We all know that the salt analysis in chemistry lab, that is, it follows through that. I am writing a prompt on ChatGPT. Act as a chemistry lab instructor. I have to perform a salt analysis. I am given with a substance whose description is given below. Please guide me how to do the salt analysis till the end. That means guide me. That means guide me till I identify the salt. Only provide one step at a time. The description of the substance, instead of white powder, I will change it to yellow powder. Okay. Now, this is what I am going to show you, the interactivity of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to work as lab instructor. I don't need a chemistry lab instructor. This can be used in any lab, wherever this type of instruction is required. Just look here. I'm giving this. See what ChatGPT has done. Though those people, they cannot read on the screen, I will read it for you. That as your chemistry lab instructor, I will guide you through the salt analysis process step by step. Given that you have a yellow powder, we will start with some preliminary tests. First, we need to conduct a physical examination of the sample. Please note the following characteristics. Order. Check if the powder has any distinct smell. ChatGPT is telling me do these three things and inform ChatGPT, then ChatGPT will tell me what to do. Now, three things I have to do. Order. Check if the powder has any distinct smell. Second, solubility. Test the solubility of the powder in water. Dissolve a small amount in a test tube with water and observe if it dissolves completely or partially, or if it is insoluble. Third, flame test. Take a small amount of the powder on a clean platinum or nichrome wire and introduce it to the Bunsen burner flame. Observe the color of the flame. Please perform this test and let me know the observation. These observations will help us determine the next step. Only to show you this demonstration, I will tell ChatGPT that one, order. I will tell that no order. Second, I am going to tell you that it is partially soluble. Then I am going to tell ChatGPT that flame test. It is giving a, let me take a try, a blue flame. No, not blue, is Bunsen burner itself is blue. It's a yellow flame. I am telling ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my lab instructor. So thank you for providing the observation based on your result. No order. This rules out ammonium salt. Partially soluble. This indicates the presence of salt and that does not completely dissolve in water. Yellow flame. Yellow flame in the flame test commonly indicates the presence of sodium ions. Now, with this input from me, now my lab instructor is telling me, now you do this carbonate test. See, this is the way. There are many ways we can do interactive. This can, I have programmed in such a way that ChatGPT can do viva voce examination for you. ChatGPT can give interactive quiz tests for you. ChatGPT can give instructions on various occasions one by one with you. ChatGPT can work perform as a moderator in brainstorming sessions. You know that in brainstorming sessions, we need a moderator who is well aware of this. We have, let me see whether I can find it out. Even we can make ChatGPT like a negotiation middle person, a neutral person. When we three people argue, ChatGPT can be the moderator, a negotiation moderator. ChatGPT will, each argument, ChatGPT will tell that it is not rational, it is not correct, your argument is not correct, it doesn't have a standing. So in these ways, ChatGPT can be used. If we are not using these type of ways, and if we are going to blame ChatGPT, we are the only people going to lose. So therefore, let today be the first day of the rest of your life. So start using ChatGPT in a very different way. So planning problem-based learning session, project-based learning, we can do that. This is a very interesting thing for ChatGPT, that creating hypothetical case studies. The case studies are very important in nowadays, because See, ChatGPT is very good in developing stories, but please don't write like this. Write a story about waterfall. It is not. If you can write, if you can write step by step maximum with more detail, you will get amazed by the type of story you get. Means don't leave everything to ChatGPT. You give it with control. Means from the beginning to end, you must at least, if you are going to write a story, story for a feature film will be approximately 120 minutes. If you can write what will happen in at least in 5 minutes interval in your movie, you will see that you will get a very different type of story from ChatGPT. If you are writing just one line, that even you will not be able to read that story. It will be the quality of that. See, ChatGPT will generate music. It will give the details so that we can use this music generating AI tools. I gave a very funny example only to test. You want to know? I asked generative AI to create a music that can soothe a teenager who is sitting after a frustrating mathematics class where he could not understand anything. So ChatGPT, this developed a music for that teenage boy to soothe his mind after a frustrating mathematics class. It generated. It's very interesting. Anyway, now you are seeing many images which is generated by AI, but all important thing is all depends upon how you prompt, how detailed you will explain, or how detailed way you will make the large language model, that is GPT, understand. Now, inject art into any curriculum. See, there is a saying, in every science there is an art, otherwise that science won't exist. In every art there is a science, otherwise that art won't exist. So therefore, we can inject art into any curriculum. Okay, this is organizing a startup or inventors workshop. Okay, now we reached a certain milestone. Out of 100, I could mention about 50 interesting ways, even though it is in a short way, but details are there on LMS. So it was my objective was with limited time to introduce you to this. You can always see this in LMS. It is not in the slide form. It is in Microsoft Word form. All screenshots are taken. You can see that. And now time is 8:55. Only 5 minutes left for me. So therefore, let me conclude this session here, and you can ask questions so that we can discuss on that. There is a question from Suman Gupta. Please tell, research paper with the help of ChatGPT will be plagiarism free. All depends upon how you write. As I was telling you earlier, there is a house. House is built of bricks. If you are going to use ChatGPT at brick level, no plagiarism. If you are going to put it in the house level and you are going to put it directly, then you will, then there will be plagiarism. Priyadarshini madam's question, any specific version for ChatGPT that has to be used? I always recommend, see, I am the last person to tell to pay somebody $20 in dollar in foreign currency. But in the case of ChatGPT 4, I fully agree. Please pay. Please give money if you are doing a serious work because it is worth. You will save. I wanted to tell you that I am 60 plus, but with ChatGPT, I believe I saved about 15 years of my life. I saved about 15 years of my life because of ChatGPT. Because that is the type of speed, that is the type of information, that is the type of satisfaction I am getting from ChatGPT by using ChatGPT. I am not getting 1 rupee from ChatGPT. I am as a well-wisher telling these details to you. Any more questions? See, there is a question from Anchal Vattakunnel. Can you list of generative AI tools for different application? See, with about 1 year experience of fully immersing into generative AI and ChatGPT, I wanted to tell you that I never recommend AI tools excepting on few occasions. Excepting few occasions. Only main thing, use ChatGPT. That is point number 1. ChatGPT is not a tool, it's a large language model. So it's not a tool. Then use anything which is special for your domain. That's all. I always tell, don't use any AI tools because it is not necessary unless it is required. There are people, they think that if you know more number of AI tools, you know that much AI. That's a mistake. There is a question, I think Dr. Mary Sujata madam, I think you are saying like that, how to justify my saying that don't use any of the online AI tools. See, I will tell you certain thing. Now, ChatGPT has got the power. It has got the power to do almost anything. But there are certain things ChatGPT cannot do. For example, ChatGPT can tell us about the existence of certain papers, but ChatGPT cannot read them because it is beyond a firewall. So use any AI tools which can read through that firewall. There I agree, go for an AI tool. Otherwise, don't go. Don't go for PPT. Don't go for data analysis. Don't go for summarization. Don't go for literature review. Please don't go. Everything can be done with the ChatGPT itself. See, there is a question from Karishma madam. Can you suggest any AI apps for PPT creation? My suggestion is that don't use. Use only ChatGPT. Then take those things you get from ChatGPT and put it on PPT slides. Don't use any of the AI tools for that. That is what my suggestion and my experience. Because I will tell you, see, I am speaking to you from Pune. One incident happened here in Pune. One teacher made a PPT with one standard AI tool. She went and shown there on the screen in the class. 4 more students also came with a similar PPT slides. Why should you do that? So when you use ChatGPT, You are using a prompt. You are getting the result from there. You are modifying it, and you can ask ChatGPT which type of image to be used. Then place it on a PPT of your interest that reflects your personality. Why should we take somebody else's thing when we can do it on our own? See, now there is another suggestion or another comment from Rasid sir. I wanted to comment on this. Overuse or unnecessary use of AI tools by teachers or students will decrease manual creativity. I think, sir. See, always there is something called skill migration. We all migrated from one skill to another. I always tell an example of during my childhood, in whichever village you go, there used to be a typewriting institute. Means there used to be manual typewriter. If you are seen like that, what is the skill required for proper writing, proper typing, getting a letter typewritten from a manual typewriter? See, there are 10 fingers, and with the little finger and with the thumb, we have to apply the same force on key. If you are applying different forces, then some will look bold, some will look dull. So therefore, was that the skill required for producing a letter? No. Now, but at that time there used to be people, they believed that was a skill. When I go to my native place, in our house there are palm leaves. There Ramayana, Mahabharata and all written with stylus. My grandfather, I heard him speaking that, what is this pen, pencil and all? You have to write with the stylus on the palm leaf. Then only it is good writing. We don't believe that one now. So it is exactly the same. What we are experiencing here is skill migration. It is our ability to describe a thing. It is our ability to ask proper question. It is our ability for critical thinking. It is our ability to gather ideas and world exposure. This is what the new literacy. So if we are not ready for the new literacy, then we are going to fail there. See, there is a question from Priyadarshini madam. Thanks a lot for raising this issue. Okay. See, what is the difference now? It's a golden opportunity for non-technical people, ChatGPT, because earlier till 2022, the software engineering used to be the monopoly of certain people. They can code, they can understand computer language, they can understand syntax. They are those one techie type of nerdy people. Now from 2022, that thing has got changed. If we want to get a computer code, just to tell in our own language. For example, my mother tongue is Malayalam. Even I can tell in Malayalam to ChatGPT to write a code in Java or in Python. That is the type of the abilities ChatGPT is giving in the hands of literature people. And when it is coming to ChatGPT, it is people who have better ideas, fantasy type of people. They are going to get benefited with that. I hope I answered Priyadarshini madam's question. Now Mahashiva, there is a question. Versatile language model, which version need to use, 3 or 3.5? If you are going to use it for research or any reasoning or an important work, not 3, not 3.5, you have to use 4. If you are running some company, if you are running some travel agency, if you need to search that one, okay, which is the next train to Kannur, then you can use 3 or 3.5. Any more questions? Sijin, any question on YouTube?
Let me just check. No questions on YouTube.
Okay. So I think there are no more questions then. See, DNSB Kabita madam is for upgrade and need to pay, sir. See, you need to pay, but it is value for money. As I was telling you, I am saving 15 years of my life. So that is the type of value of money you are getting. Any more question? So shall we then?
There's one question which says, "Sir, please tell if research paper with the help of ChatGPT will be plagiarism free."
That I have responded to that one.
Okay. That's all then, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sijin. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So we will see you tomorrow again.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. I think you have a session tomorrow as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow we will be having session on ChatGPT and AI tools that will be taken by Dr. Suresh Nambari. We'll also be having a session by Dr. Mendes Jacob on OBE for accreditation and useful tools. And also the feedback and validatory function will be there tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day of the FTP. That's all for today. I think we will end the session for today. And we will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp.
Okay, see you.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m.